Hello, Kid teachers. Teacher Mary here, and I wanted to come on and make this video that I promised you I would make like a month ago. So many of you reached out to me after we launched our new trials here at Kid in mid-November about creating a new It Is Red video for extensions. So if you watched my previous It Is Red video, there are still some great tips and tricks in that video that could apply to the new It Is Red. But if you're new to Kid, previously we had trials and we had one called It Is Red. We still have a trial called It Is Red, but now it is red and blue, and we learn about a hat. So I wanted to create this new video, but I wanted to make sure that I had taught the lesson for a while. So our new trials launched mid-November. I've been teaching It Is Red for, about 6 weeks now. I've had It Is Red taught to me during new teacher training classes, probably nearly 100 times in the last month or so. So I think I have a pretty good handle on It Is Red and what I personally like to do to extend and what I've seen teachers do to extend that have just been really great ideas. So today I just want to share some of those ideas with you. This is not the end all be all. It never is. If you have a great idea, drop it below. Subscribe to this video while you're at it. And all right, let's get right into it. So It Is Red is our lowest level trial lesson. It is designed for our K babies. So it is our K1 trial lesson. It is designed for students who are probably in that 3 to 5 year age range and they speak little to no English. So the students coming in are going to have a very, very, very basic understanding of anything you're saying, which means we want to make sure that our incidental language is low. I am going to be going through each slide number by number. So if you are a current Kid teacher, go ahead and go into your portal, or you can download. It Is Red, or maybe you have it upcoming in classes, and so you can have the slides there one by one. I'm going to be going through each one. I can't release the slides due to proprietary information. I can't share out Kid's confidential information. So if you're a Kid teacher, just follow along with me in your portal. If you're not a Kid teacher, then what are you waiting for? Apply below, use my link. I will help you. I will send you information and coach you through the process to become a Kid teacher. Okay, all right, let's get started. So starting out on our first slide here, the first slide that comes up, slide number 1, is in Chinese. It is to the parents, letting the parents know, hey, your child's about to be taking a trial class. They are going to be on the iPad or on the computer. This is Hannah and this is Dragon, and they're going on an adventure in the D world. So as the teacher, you are supposed to say that same type of thing on the intro slide, which we're going to get to next. But this is just letting the parents know kind of what to expect. So, hey, parents, stay close and participate when you're with your child. Then we're going to go to the intro slide, which is our It Is Red slide. So it's got Hannah and it has Dragon on the intro slide, and it says the title of the lesson, which is It Is Red. Now, this is a slide that I start on with the parents and the students. So after I click my start button, I'm ready to go. That first slide will pop up. I transition over to the intro slide and I say, hello, my name is Teacher Mary. What is your name? And I'll point to my name back here, Teacher Mary, and then wait for them to say whatever it is they say. If they say Mary, um, yay! Hi, Mary. My name is Mary. And you want to make sure that they repeat back their name to you in a complete sentence. Now, if they say a name and you can't understand it, it's okay to say, what is your name? And see if you can get that name again. I really like to get the student name. I think it's very important to get the student name. So during the lesson, you can continue to say their name. But if you either cannot understand the name or if the student is being very shy and doesn't want to give their name, I think it's better to just move on and continue the lesson instead of, pounding into the student like, what is your name? What is your name? Okay, I'm not going to move on until you tell me your name. It's better just to move on. You can call the student friend or, just say great job during the lesson. I know there's a couple teachers who use the word friend a lot, or student. You can say those things during class as well. Okay, so like I said, on this slide, I introduce myself and I hopefully am getting the introduction of the student. And then I also go ahead and I introduce Hannah and Dragon because I think it's important in this lesson. Let me find Hannah because we have Hannah and Dragon on every single slide in this lesson. So I think it's really important that the students know who Hannah and Dragon are so we can talk about them during the lesson. So I have my Hannah and Dragon printouts here. If you need these printouts, feel free to message me. All of these are on Freshdesk, but I've gone ahead and put them all in a Google Doc. I'll be glad to send to you if you would like that for ease of use. So I print out Dragon and I say, Dragon, and see if they can repeat Dragon, Dragon, hello, Dragon, hello, Dragon. Okay, and if they can't repeat hello, Dragon, that's okay. I just want them to hear that. Hannah, can you say hello, Hannah? Hello, Hannah. Yay, great job. So I'm introducing Hannah and Dragon. Again, they might not be able to say Hannah. They might not be able to say Dragon. That's okay. They're hearing me say it and knowing at least who these characters on the screen are. They're starting to associate those names. Okay, so then we move on to the song. Now, the song is a great little Hello Go-Go Kid song. It talks about what we're going to be exploring during this lesson, which is the color red and the color blue. So it says, welcome, hello, hello, Go-Go Kid. And then it says, this is a red hat, this is a blue hat. During the song, I do not sing for a couple reasons. One, I want them to really listen to the song. Two, there's almost always a little bit of a lag between our voice and their ears. So I don't ever know how long that lag is. It might be a fraction of a second, it might be a second. Sometimes you can hear the echo back. So if I'm singing and the song is singing and they're trying to listen, I don't want it to be like blah blah blah, hello, hello, hello. So I will grab my little ukulele here and kind of pretend like I'm playing or even strum a few. I also hold up my staple objects during my red and blue lesson. So when it says, it is a red hat, it is a blue hat, I hold up the different colors. So again, they can start to make that association between red and blue. Okay, and then after the song is over, depending on if the student was trying to sing along and they were really trying to engage, I might turn on my highlighter tool and highlight a couple of the sentences like, hello, hello, Go-Go Kid, or it is a red hat, hold up my red, it is a blue hat, hold up my blue. So I might go through and highlight a couple of those sentences. I'm just gauging the student. If the student was kind of withdrawn and they weren't participating at all, they weren't trying to sing, they didn't really seem too interested, maybe a little apprehensive, I'm just going to move on. And then we move on to slide number 4. So when we get to slide number 4, immediately as soon as you turn on the slide, there's an interaction that starts happening on its own. So again, this lesson is in the interactive classroom. So the interaction starts happening and it's Hannah and Dragon and they're laughing. So they're laughing. And Hannah's waving her hand and she has blue paint on her hand. So once the slide opens up, I say, oh, I see Hannah. And I circle Hannah and I circle that blue paint that's on her hand. Now her hand is moving. So I have people ask me, how do you circle? Because her hand is moving. So I circle kind of all of Hannah and all of Dragon because Dragon has some blue paint on his face too. I see blue. Blue. And this is where I'm really introducing blue for that first time. Also down below, there's a uh, blue can of paint and the word blue. So I circle that and I continue to say blue. I probably say blue 10 times on this slide. I'm saying blue, I'm having the student say blue, I'm underlining blue, I'm circling blue. And then I do the same thing with red. So then I hold up red and I say red. And again, I go through the whole process. I'm circling red, I'm underlining red, I'm having the students say red. I'm trying to get them to repeat that red and blue as much as possible in the beginning. Then we move on to the next slide. The next slide has a blank canvas, kind of, and underneath it says the word red, which is clickable. You as the teacher can click on that word and it'll say red. And then there's also a tube of paint and you can click on that tube of paint and a red squirt of paint will come out. So on this, I start almost every slide from here on out saying, what do you see? So I open up the slide and I say, oh, what do you see? For a couple of reasons. One, I want to know what they might say. What do they already know? What English words do they know? It's okay to have a little bit of that awkward silence to give them that think time. You want to see what they can process and what they can possibly answer. They might answer red, which is ultimately what you want, and then you'd be so excited and give them a reward. Uh, So if they can say red, that is great. If they can say red right off the bat, then I'm going to start introducing sentences. It is red. I see red. And I also want them to be able to click. So this is where we introduce click as well, which can be a little bit of a difficult topic for some of our friends. So I'm going to introduce click a couple different ways. First of all, I'm going to try and gauge if I can tell if they're on the computer or the iPad. A couple different ways I can gauge that. One, the easiest way to gauge if they're on the computer or the iPad is, are you moving around like this? Because what I have found is if you are on an iPad, that's what your screen is going to look like. You're moving all over the place because they're usually not able to really hold an iPad still, right? If you're on a computer, like I am right now, the computer doesn't move unless they kick it or hit it or whatever. So if they're on an iPad, I really want to demonstrate touching. A couple different ways I might do that. I might hold up my phone. Okay, let's click, let's click. Or I have an iPad as well, so I might even hold up the iPad and say, "Are you on iPad?" and see if they can, click on the iPad. I want to kind of over enunciate, like make sure they really hear me clicking the iPad. If they're not on the iPad, or I'll ask mom and dad if mom and dad are there too. If they're not on the iPad, I'm going to use my mouse and demonstrate click, click. It still can be a difficult skill for some students in this age range, and I'm just going to let it go. I'm still going to continue to try and teach it every slide as we go on, but I'm going to let it go and I'm going to click myself. So I'm going to click red, and then I'm going to click the tube of paint and let it splatter out. Now, if the student is a little bit more advanced and they can tell me red right away, instead of clicking on that tube of paint, I'm going to actually write the word red, write the letters R-E-D. See if the student can repeat those letters to me. Can they repeat R? Can they repeat E? Can they repeat D? Can they write the letters? This is also a great time to pop over to the whiteboard and you can let the student actually write the letters themselves. I always model it. I'm going to write R-E-D and then let the student write R-E-D. Okay, so that's a great way to eat up a little bit of extra time. You're extending and you're going over the letters and the sounds of the letters. Next slide, we go to slide number 6 is the exact same thing as slide number 5, except now we're doing everything with the color blue. So I'm saying, oh, what do you see? Hopefully the student will say, blue. I see blue. It is blue. Even though you don't have to introduce the sentence until slide number 10 or so, I like to introduce the sentence as early as possible. They're at least hearing me say it. If they can't repeat every single word perfectly, it's okay, but they're hearing me say the sentence and I'm trying to engage them in saying the sentence back. All right, next slide, slide number 7 has 4 glass jars with yellow, red, blue, and green coloring in it. This is a slide where they're going to click on the red and they're going to click on the blue. But before they click, I turn on the pencil icon. So as soon as we get to the slide, remember teacher, you control the student's function. So I'm going to click on the pencil and I am going to say, oh, what do you see? See what they have to say about this slide. Can they tell me red? Can they tell me blue? Maybe they can tell me yellow. Maybe they can tell me green. Maybe, probably not. I'm not expecting them to, but maybe they can. And if they can, I want to praise that. Also, by now, I've definitely given a star. So I give a star every 5 minutes, and my secondary reward, whatever it is, normally it's ice cream. Sometimes it's candy stickers. They love sweets. I've been doing food a lot recently. I've been doing things like um, French fries and hamburgers and ice cream. So they love Western type food. So I forgot to mention that in the beginning, you want to make sure that you give all 5 stars every single lesson. And also you're doing your secondary reward system. And I have a ton of secondary reward systems I can connect you with if you join my Facebook group or if you're interested in interviewing. I just printed out these dollars from Teachers Pay Teachers. Teacher Brett created these. This is a free resource. Gogokid dollars, so cute. And then they have $10 bills too. So sorry, got a little off topic there, but I just wanted to make sure that you know I would be giving my rewards by now. I definitely would have given a star. Probably I would have given a secondary reward as well. Okay, so we get to the bottles. And I'm saying, what do you see? If they can't tell me anything at all, I'm going to circle the red bottle and say, what color is this? What color? If they're struggling to tell me anything, I'm going to start holding up some of my red props. Red. It is red. So now you're going to have one of two students here. You're going to have a student who can pretty quickly tell you red or repeat red. And then you might have a student who is pretty much not saying anything at this point. If they're not saying anything, you're speaking for them. You're acting like Dora the Explorer. You want to give them plenty of wait time because you never know when they might just open their mouths and say, red. But if they aren't, that is okay. We're just giving them that wait time. We're speaking for them. Remember, we're using our slow voice. I'm talking way too fast right now. But after they identify red, I'll do the same thing with blue. I'm actually going to change the color of my pencil. I'm going to make it blue. And then I'm going to go to the blue bottle. I'm going to circle it and say, what color is it? Blue. Yes, it is blue. Or if they don't say blue, repeat, okay? Yes, this is blue. Blue. I also have my color cards on hand. I'm going to be pulling out my color cards with the word on them and making sure that I'm showing the word blue and the word red. After they circle red and circle blue, I take the little trash can and I erase the whole screen, and then I go back to the mouse click button, and I want them now to click on red and I want them to click on blue. So can you click? I'm going to hold up my mouse. Can you click or point? If I'm touching, can you touch? If I think they're on the iPad, can you touch blue? Hopefully they'll touch it and then this little bubbles come out. Yay, blue. It is blue. And the same thing with red. Can you touch red? Yes. And then right after they activate red and blue, this little sign is going to come down and it's like, oh yeah, and it says great. So you need to be done with the slide by the time that sign comes down, which is why I pencil first, I draw first. Because like I said, once they activate red and once they activate blue, that side is pretty much done. So then we go on to slide number 8. Slide number 8 has Hannah and Dragon, and there's nothing really happening on the slide yet. So you need to get the student to activate the slide to start the interaction. So my goal is that the student will click on Hannah or Dragon. So I hold up Hannah, hold up Dragon, and I say, okay, can you click or touch, whatever word I'm using, can you touch Dragon, click Dragon, or click Hannah? They can actually click almost anywhere on the screen, and it's going to activate the paint that comes out of their hands really on this one. So they throw paint up into the air and the paint kind of falls down into the sky and they're laughing about the paint. Okay, then I circle the paint cloud, and again I'm like, oh, what color is it? What color do you see? Or what do you see? And there's 2 slides in a row like this. One is about red and one is about blue. So I teach them the exact same way. What do you see? Circle, circle. What color do you see? And then down at the bottom, they can click the word red and they can click the word blue. Now, you want them to click, or you as the teacher click, each one of those words just to listen to the word. And then when they click the word again, when they click the correct answer, it's going to move that to the middle and make like a correct sound. If they click the incorrect word, it's going to make a incorrect sound, like a whatever sound it makes. It's going to make an incorrect sound. So you want to make sure that they can click each one once and then click the correct sound to make that slide kind of be done. Again, slide number 9 is the exact same thing except about the color blue. Then we go on to slide number 10, and this is the first slide where the sentence pattern is actually introduced. But like I said, I've been introducing it since the beginning. So the sentence pattern for this slide is, it is red. Hannah is on this slide, so I say, okay, let's click Hannah. Once we click Hannah, her 10 fingers appear to be covered in blue paint. So we want to say it is blue. Again, I'm already asking the student, what do you see? Hopefully they'll say blue, and I come back with, it is blue. So, or I see blue. I introduce both sentence patterns. I think it's important they hear more than one way to question and answer. So what do you see? I see blue. What is it? Or what color is it? It is blue. So we're going on with that. This is also a great time to count her fingers. So she has 10 fingers. I'm going to start by counting 5. So we'll go through, I write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on every finger. I see if the student can count those fingers. If they do pretty well on counting to 5, I'm going to go up and count to 10. If they don't do well counting with 5, I'm going to count 5 fingers, and then I'm going to count 5 fingers again. So I'm not going to go to 10. I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just that repetition. They don't need to go to 10. They're probably a 3 to a 5-year-old. They don't need to count to 10. They don't even need to count to 5. That's not an objective in this lesson. It's just an extension. Okay, now we're on slide number 11. Slide number 11, our target sentence again is "it is blue." This time there's a blue dinosaur that they need to click on. On slide number 11, there's also some new colors we can introduce if we want to extend this lesson, if the student is doing well with red and blue. Okay, so I have this blue dinosaur that I hold up and say, "What color is it? What do you see?" Again, hopefully they can say blue or "it is blue." I'm going to ask them to answer back, "It is blue." Okay, and then we click on the blue dinosaur and he kind of activates and does a little bit of animation. Then on the side, there's also a can of paint or a bucket of paint of yellow, red, and blue. So I circle those colors down at the bottom. This is a great time to introduce the word yellow. So we can introduce that color card. It's great to introduce it. They don't have to master this, but it's great to introduce different colors as well. Pink is also on this slide, so I will probably introduce the word pink. There's a little pink dragon dinosaur. Not totally sure what he is. There's a little pink creature on this side, and then there's a red dragon that we're going to highlight as well or circle as well. Dinosaur, a red dinosaur looking on this side that's going to get circled as well. It is red. So great. It is blue. It is pink. It is red. It is yellow. It is blue. It is red. Practicing those target sentences again. Slide number 12 and slide number 13 are very similar. Again, we're going to click on those slides. The paint is going to puff up into the air and it's going to be blue on slide number 12, red on slide number 13. And they have to complete the target sentence this time. It is red. It is blue. And click on those links down below saying it is red or it is blue. Again, I circle that big cloud of paint and I try and let the student repeat the sentence or say the sentence without repeating me, just say it on their own. What color is it? What do you see? I see red, I see blue, it is red, it is blue. Okay, we want them to speak as much as possible. Remember, the goal is for the student to be speaking 60% of the time. I know that can be more difficult in this trial, so you just want to get them to be speaking as much as possible, repeating you and giving them that opportunity to speak first by saying, what do you see? Okay, so slide number 14, we're introducing our last target vocabulary word, which is the word hat. So I'm spending a little bit of time looking at the picture of the hat, repeating the word hat. So just like I did in the beginning with red and blue, repeating the word hat multiple times. So what is it? It is a hat. Hat, H-A-T. I'm going to spell the word hat. I'm going to have them repeat hat. It is a hat. I see a hat. And going through those sentences and the vocabulary word hat. I also have a little picture of a hat that I'm going to hold up and show. Some people have a hat that they like to put on. I've seen people with a red hat or a blue hat that they got from, I saw someone post recently from the dollar store, like for New Year's Eve, I think it was decor. So whenever you see random props like that go with a lesson, if they're cheap, I like to pick them up too. Okay, slide number 15 and slide number 16. We're going to be focusing on those target sentences. It is a red hat. It is a blue hat. So again, on both of these slides, they're going to be like similar slides earlier. We're going to click Hannah or Dragon, and this puff of paint is going to come and transform the color hat that Dragon is wearing into a blue hat, and Hannah is wearing into a red hat. So it's going to turn from brown to red or brown to blue. And we're going to repeat those target sentences. It is a blue hat. It is a red hat. So you want to have the students repeat those a few times. And then on slide number 17, we're going to hit both of those target sentences on that slide. So on slide number 17, it's like a party and it's both blue and red. So blue paint puffs up and red paint puffs up. I'm going to ask the student, what do you see? See what they can tell me. We're almost getting to the end. So hopefully by now they can say red hat, blue hat. And then again, we're going to put it into a sentence. It is a red hat. It is a blue hat. So holding up those props, it is a red hat. It is a blue hat. And allowing them to say those sentences completely while they're clicking on the sentence to repeat. So you can also circle red hat, blue hat, click on the sentence. It is a red hat. It is a blue hat. All right, so now we're on slide number 18. Slide number 18 has a little girl holding a red heart on it. Heart. With the target sentence, it is red. When we get on this slide, I'm going to open it up by saying, guess what? Guess what? What do you see? And hopefully by now, we're almost to the end, the student can say, I see red, or it is red, or even just red is fine. And then I'm going to encourage them to say the sentence, it is red. I see red. You can click on the words, it is red, and they're going to read, it is red. Slide number 19 is very similar. It has dragon pointing to a paint bucket, and the sentence is, it is blue. So same type thing. What do you see? I see blue. It is blue. What color is it? It is blue. Click on that target sentence, and the voice will read, it is blue. Have the student repeat that back. I underline it. We read, it is blue a couple different times. So again, we're just repeating, repeating, repeating. Repetition is best. We know that for new language skills, they need to repeat these sentences over and over. And even though you've repeated this lesson multiple times, remember for the student, it's their very first time. So then our last slide here with instruction on it is Hannah and Dragon, and they're kind of like saying goodbye. And the last target sentence is, it is a red hat. So we open up slide number 20. What do you see? Dragon's wearing a big red hat, and Hannah's in the background. It is a red hat. Clicking on that target sentence, reading it is a red hat, underlining it is a red hat, holding up our red, and finishing up. On slide number 21, we're going to sing our goodbye song. So this is really some time to have fun. I click on the song. Let's sing, okay? Goodbye, goodbye, go, go, kid. And then we go through. I do sing along with this one usually quietly because of that potential lag. So I'm kind of singing, I'm mouthing, I'm holding up. I'm often singing around with my wand. I use this wand whenever I give a star. I make a big deal and wand on the kid. So I'm singing and I'm dancing and we're finishing up, and then we get to the last slide and we're saying goodbye. Now, since this is a trial, I always try and say goodbye to mom and dad too, because they're usually sitting right there. So goodbye, goodbye, student, goodbye, friend, goodbye, mama, goodbye, dada, and thank you. Please remember to say thank you. They just gave you 25 minutes. And remember, your goal of this trial is to make sure that they sign up to become a core student. So if you want to learn more about teaching a really great trial, more trial tips and tricks, I'm going to link my my trial video here. Please go ahead and watch that. Subscribe below. I hope you found this helpful. Leave me a comment. What did you like? What helped you? What did you not like? What more do you want to see? What do you do during It Is Red? I would love to hear from you. Okay, everyone. Goodbye. Happy teaching.